Hello everyone, I hope you are well. Today's video, Shifu Cameron Hurst takes us through the forward and backwards movement, if you like, the way that the Mantis Kung Fu guys close down on a partner or create distance between a partner. Now, we've already been through their standard stances and some of the mechanics of how they use their soft and flexible elbows and, of course, the Mantis hook hand or the Mantis claw. And this kind of ties the whole thing together. You can see how they move together as a system, and all of these components all come together to make the art what it is. It's really interesting to watch, and there's lots of things in this that aren't quite what you think they are. Have a look. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, click the bell thing so you get notifications, and enjoy the video.
A very important concept in Mantis when you start to build it into more kind of live situations is the footwork. We've been over the stances, and that's static, but the transitions are really where the bread and butter is. Whenever we do a technique in Mantis, we always have a shuffle step. So if I'm attacking, if I'm coming with a grab, I'm going to shuffle in every time. I might shuffle back, and then I shuffle in. And this is teaching us to use our whole body weight to put into the technique. Because just like the soft and flexible elbows, you're not going to generate a lot of force just by using the forearm, swinging the forearm. There's not much there. You have to learn how to transmit that body weight and that energy into your strikes. And this is the same across any martial art, really. We just tend to emphasize more of using the softness to strike finally with a hard strike, but it's really using that softness to transmit the force initially. The same way that Western boxing would talk about, you know, snapping the punch at the end. It's the same kind of idea, I guess. So if you're going to practice, you want to practice every move with a shuffle. So the easiest way to do it is to practice our stances and then shuffle forward. And then you might shuffle back. Okay, so do you want to give that a go?
Yes. So, the first one was the...
Yeah, so from there, if you're coming from a horse stance, and a horse stance in a realistic setting, in our style, you're going to be still going forward even though you're on the side. It's often a level change punch, what we call like stealing the heart punch. So you might be trying to attack the low region, you know, a solar plex punch, so you're coming down. But from that, you then want to step forward into a hill climbing stance.
So into there?
Yep.
Oh, there.
So from here, you're going to come, maybe you're doing a punch here, then you're going to step here. Yeah. Because if you punch me and I block, you want to then grab and attack again. So you're sliding in, stepping in with a shuffle step to attack me with your weight.
So you're moving the entire system forwards in the shape it already is.
Yeah, essentially, unless you're changing your stance. But oftentimes you can just be staying in the same stance. I could come with what we talked about, the circle entering stance. Maybe I come low here, and then I want to come in with the same stance again. So I stay in that position and I shuffle. I move my whole body weight.
Rather than people watching a complete noob make a fool of themselves, could you just go through some of the stances but put some of that lateral movement in there so we can just see how you're transitioning through your feet and your balance?
Yep. So the way we normally practice our stances with basic techniques, we have a set of techniques that we call the 14 routes or 14 roads. And these are 14 movements that we do back and forth. We normally do about 4 of each. So for example, if I want to train my gua, which is a straight punch with a block, I'm going to actually use 45. I'm going to come here here. So I'm shuffling out. And we do that with each technique. Then we're going to turn back and we're going to do another technique. So it's a more mobile way of practicing our techniques. And we have all the stances within the 14 roads. So we have our circle entering stance, and then we might kick, and then we'll go into another one. So we're using the footwork with the techniques to really for beginners to get familiar with moving that body weight forward. And it's a very good way to have a structured way of practicing your techniques, because there's a lot of techniques, you know, being a hybrid system. It's just a very simple way to go over your basic techniques and your basic stances in a more mobile and slightly more live kind of feel. But you're always going to be cognizant of the transition, so keeping the weight on the foot that's meant to have the body weight. So if we want to, we can try doing that in a line to see how that goes. Did you want to try that?
You can try it. I'm sure they could do with the laugh.
Yeah, all we're going to do a zigzag. So if I'm facing 45, my weight's going to be on this foot because I'm moving this leg. I'm going to step out and I'm going to use this hip turn, and I'm doing a punch and a block. Then we're going to come together. Weight is now on this leg because I'm going to step with this leg. I'm going to step out and I'm going to turn. As I turn, this is the step with the body weight transition. The force goes into the punch. Yep, and sometimes people are not going to be familiar with this position, so it takes a while to coordinate the hands. Come together, weight is on this foot. Step out, use the hip. Yep, and this is our basic block. So it's going to be just above the eye line. There's not a lot of space there. This is in the center like any good punch. And this pushes out and also rotates outward. So we're using rotation in our blocks. So from there, if we're going to the next one, we're coming together. Weight is on your left leg because you're about to step with this foot. From here, my shoulder is this position. I'm stepping out and then I'm turning hip and shoulder and using that force into the punch. Okay, very good.